Hi guys, and welcome to another guided tour. This one is going to be of Willowpond Haven here in Blackwood. This is the main entrance. I've done quite a lot to this house, and it's probably one of my favourite houses that has been ever added to the game. So I'm going to give you a guided tour. We'll probably start with the houses first, and then I'll take you around the grounds, because I have done quite a lot with the outside space of this particular house. So here we are at the entrance, and you can see here quite a simple, humble little entrance. I put these two statues that you can see here at the side, sort of like guardians as you walk in. And there is a lot of dense planting here, as you can see. So all of the trees, the plants, the bushes, the flowers, everything that you see here is stuff that I have obviously added because I wanted it to feel like a very sort of lush woodland area. So I really have densely planted this place, and a heck of a lot of the furnishing items that are in this house are actually planting. It's got a couple of my favourite trees. So these blossom trees I love because of the animation on them. You can see there, you can actually see the blossoms are animated to fall off the tree. I think it's so pretty. And then the same with this one over here. Such a beautiful tree that I love the purple colour of it. It's gorgeous. So we have this beautiful humpback bridge that we can go over, and you can see with this particular notable home you actually get two buildings. So there's this one, and there's a smaller property just to the right of it there. So we're going to go into this main property first. So as you can see, more statues. I do love my statues. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll see that I do love my statues. So if I can find I've turned the UI off so I can't actually find the door. There we go. And we go inside. So you can see here now, this, as you walk in, I sort of turned this into a dining area, and the devs recently gave us these amazing pieces of cake. Basically they're pieces of birthday cake from all of the anniversaries that we've had in the game, and I love them. So I bought one of every single one, and then I put them on the table here. And there's some beautiful furnishings here. This is all layer-in furnishings. A vast majority of it is layer-in, some of it is not, but I will talk you through that as we get to it. Some of it is high aisle, but I just love the intricacies on some of these like pieces. I think the devs outdid themselves with some of the designs on these furnishings. They're beautiful. And again, the cake, you know, that's our Necron cake. Those of you who play the game will recognise these. That's, I think, the God of Schemes there on that cake. I just think they do an amazing job every year with the cakes, and so I wanted to put them on display in here. So this room comes with two separate sort of side rooms that go off from it. One of the first things I did was I changed the flooring in here because I wanted it to look more sort of like a quarry tile, and as you can see, I turned this half into sort of a kitchen area. So there's lots of produce and stuff in here that you could use, obviously, if you were catering. I love this fire pit as well. So I put the cooking, the turning spit and stuff over the stove, and I love this copper kettle. Absolutely love that. That was introduced to the game recently, and I had to have one of those and put it in here. And I've got some beautiful French loaves and stuff there as well. So the layer-in plates as well. I love that the devs actually gave us stacks of plates instead of just single ones. I think it's just brilliant for places and situations like this. So I do have a stack of plates too. Now to the other side of this, like I said, there is another little room, and I turned this one into sort of a cellar area, but it's also a place for, as you can see, winemaking. So I've got my grape press there and the cauldron there for making some more wine, and then I've got, obviously you can see, all the bottles of wine that have been generated in this particular space, quite a few of them, and there's a couple of barrels of it as well. So it's really sort of an entertaining space. That's what I wanted it to look like. If we go upstairs, you'll see dotted around as well, there are some trophies and stuff all over the walls. I haven't obviously got all of them out because there is a limit to how many you can place in your house, but you'll see those dotted around the walls as we walk around. Now, one of the things I wanted to do in this particular house that I haven't done in any other houses is I wanted to make two rooms that were dedicated to our first companions. So here we go with Bastian's room, and we know how much Bastian loves his books and he loves reading. So I turned his bedroom into kind of a space that I thought that he would love. So you can see there he's got some conjured tomes that are just sort of spinning around his bed, so he can grab one of those to read before he goes to sleep. We have some enchanted tomes as well. a bookcase, and a pile of books as well, because we know how much he loves his books. So this is kind of a room that pays homage to sort of Bastian and what we've learned about him on our adventures. And then the other one I have done is for Miri, and we know how much Miri loves her bugs. Anybody who has accidentally grabbed a torch bug on your way around, and you get chastised by Miri for doing anything to bugs because she loves them. So this particular room is dedicated to Miri and her love of bugs and alchemy. So you can see here we've got some beautiful plants and stuff, rare breeds, orchids and stuff like that, and that she's collected on her travels. We've got some alchemy paraphernalia there for when she wants to brew her potions. A crimson torch bug that's just sort of chilling here in the room. I love this plant. This tree, I'm not quite sure what you would call it really, but you can see that it's enchanted there with blue fireflies. It's absolutely beautiful. I love that pot, and I love what the devs did with it in terms of the colouring and the lighting on that. I think it's beautiful. And Miri had to have one of those in here. I felt like she needed one. So yeah, it's a sort of a simple bedroom you can see there. Full poster bed. Again, all layer wing furnishings here. Again, I love the inlay and the detail that the devs have given us on this furniture. I thought it's absolutely beautiful. So this is Miri's room, and I hope she's pleased with it. This is where she comes back to rest after we've been doing our adventures. And then if you go to the very top floor of this house, you get this very big, wide, open space. And I debated about what to do up here. And in the end decided to turn it into sort of like a memorabilia trophy room. So we've got, again, a beautiful bookcase there, lots and lots of books to do our research before we go off on our travels. And as you can see, if I scan around the room, you can see all the different trophies and stuff from the various dungeons and stuff in the game. You'll be familiar with them obviously if you play. And again, like I said, I haven't been able to put all of them out, guys, because there is a limit. I love these furnishings that we got from Necrom as well. Kind of like some weird things in jars. I think there is a brain somewhere in a jar. I think I have that actually in my alchemy house. I need to get some more of those because I love brains in jars. I think they're just really like interesting and weird. So if I can get my hands on any more of those, I will put some of those up here as well. Although I am reaching the limit in this house in terms of furnishings. I think I only have like 2 spaces left out of 700. There's a heck of a lot in this house. So there's the obligatory treasure pile, which is a quest reward, and it's beautiful. So I had to put my treasure pile up there, just piled in the corner. There is a lovely view out here. If I can get out of the door again, hold on. There is a nice view on this balcony that looks out over the bridge that we ran across a minute ago. It's very sort of pretty, very picturesque. This is one of the things that I love most about this house. We're going to see right now as we go across. So I'm going to go back downstairs. Let's turn the UI back off because it does interfere with the recording. So if we go downstairs and we'll go back outside, and I'll take you, I think, into the other house. And this is less sort of formal, this house, so I decided to do something a little bit different with it. It doesn't come with all this ivy and stuff planted on it. I put the training ivy across it because I wanted a little bit more detail on it, like it had been here in place for a long time. And I've also planted some of our shrooms. The Necrom chapter gave us some very, very beautiful shrooms, as you can see here. So some of my favourites I've picked out and put them here. So this is my shroom patch. And glow stalks and stuff like that. I think the devs gave us some really interesting planting to put in our houses, and these are obviously, you can see these all over the zone of Necrom, but I really like them, so I've put some shrooms have been planted everywhere. You can see there's another one that's hiding just over there. So if we go inside the Tranquility Home, as the devs have called it, so we come into here, and I wanted to make, again, kind of like a formal, not so much dining area, but more for meetings, that you could have like meetings about your adventures and share everything that you've found. And the furnishings in here are high aisle, and this is probably one of my most favourite tables in the game. I think the design and the wood inlay and the grain and everything that the devs gave us with this particular table is beautiful. It's one of my favourite tables in the game. So I had 2 of them in this particular room. And again, all the other furnishings in here, the dresses and everything, they are all layer-win furnishings. There's a beautiful stained glass windows that the devs gave us. That sometimes it will cascade light through it, but at certain times of the day it's not doing it at the moment. And I put lots of paintings and things in here, bookcases and areas, to study. And again, just like in the other house, you have 2 small rooms that go off to the side. This particular one I turned into a bedroom, as you can see, and sort of a fitting room, so you can come in here and do sort of changes, updates and upgrades to your armor sets and stuff like that in here. So I put the armory station in there, and then linked to that on the other side, I turned this particular room into a laundry. So there's lots and lots of clothes and stuff like that. There's clothes dryers, there's a bath so that you can take a relaxing bath after you've been, out on your adventures. Laundry baskets, there's a sewing kit there on the dresser. Wash tubs, there's stuff there to do knitting, repairs, with rugs and all kinds of stuff. So basically a room completely dedicated to doing your laundry. It's just something a bit more interesting. I didn't want to make it into like another bedroom, So upstairs, this is kind of very simple up here because I was limited to how many furnishings I had left to do the interior. Like I said, I concentrated most on the outside, which we'll see in a minute. So a simple bedroom in here. And then you do get some more space over here. So I put a huge tapestry there, which I thought looked pretty cool next to the fireplace. And then another place to sit and, entertain people and talk up here. Another sort of like quiet little nook. And again, I love this. The ship that the devs gave us with high aisle, I think that's beautiful, sitting on top of a high aisle dresser. So I had to get one of those and put that in here. If we go upstairs, you get this quite large space in the attic, and I debated for a while what to do up here, and in the end I just turned it into, as you can see, a very sort of simple bedroom. I put some big tapestries in here because the room is big enough to take it, and I love this Necrom relief that we got as well. Again, a really intricate, interesting design. And that's pretty much it for this particular house. If you go through that door, it does take you just outside to the balcony area that we walked in underneath as we came through. I haven't really done anything with this space. I could have put flowers and stuff in here in hindsight, but I was running out of space and I felt like it would better to decorate other places and areas of the house. So now that we're going to focus on the exterior, so we're going to go up this ramp, which does come with the house. I didn't build the ramp. And then again here we've got a lot of planting, so a lot of flowers and trees, especially trees and stuff I planted here. Now I want to do something a little bit different with this particular area, so I played with a little bit with the verticality of the landscape. So we have this kind of like ritual area there. You can see the wisp zone that you can come and do kind of ritualistic things, specifically for things like growing herbs, growing plants, hunting, those kinds of rituals, because I feel like this particular space and this particular house kind of lends itself to that for reasons that you'll see more specifically in a minute. But I also wanted to make a place for Pahari the smuggler to live. So I figured that she would like to live outdoors. So she's got like this tent area here, and she does all the hunting and the fishing and things like that. So you can see some of the things, the furs and stuff that she's going to be using to make fur armor and things like that later. And again, a lot of dense planting here, as you can see, and a few more shrooms. And now if we go up here, this is all very open area when you get it. There isn't very much here. There's one or two trees in this particular space, but that's it. Most of the trees you can see here I've put here. And like I said, I wanted to play with the verticality, so I built some structures. So if we go up these stairs, it's basically like, I didn't want to build like a tree house, but I wanted to sort of give the idea of if you were living in the trees, this is kind of like what it would look like. So we have this walkway that goes all the way across here. And here is Pahari. She is here chilling out. And this is where she would do a lot of her work. So she's like growing herbs and stuff here. She does a lot with like repairs for things like bows and woodwork, and she repairs things like traps and stuff like that that she uses to go hunting. So all of that stuff is up here in sort of Pahari's domain, okay? So I wanted, like I say, to use this space in a more interesting way, and so building this up here seemed like, I don't know, more interesting use of the space than just trying to play with, you know, the existing landscape. So now we'll go back down, and I'm going to take you to what is undoubtedly the thing that makes me love this house, probably more than all the other houses that I've done and we have in the game put together. And it is this waterfall. Look at it. It's absolutely beautiful. When I first ported into this house, when it was introduced to the game, I literally walked straight across from the entrance and I looked at that and I bought it immediately. Because this house is absolutely beautiful, and that is one of I love waterfalls in real life, and when I saw this I fell in love with it. How many waterfalls! Look, it goes all the way around, and it was finally a place where I could find to put these gigantic statues that we have been given, because you really need a big space to take these things because they are massive, and they both fit really well here. Now there wasn't a way to get across here. So I put these bridges that you can actually collapse and they roll up. Obviously it's fully extended at the moment because I wanted to get to a cave that you can see there hidden behind the waterfall, and I'm one of those people who sees a waterfall in a game and she has to go and check behind it to see if there's any secrets in there. And so that's one of the things that I did when I first got this house, was to go and investigate what's behind the waterfall, and the devs didn't disappoint me because they gave us an entire cave. So again, all you get is literally an empty sort of stone cave over here, and all of the stuff that you can see here I've put here. Now I've got a hag raven who lives in this cave, and she's kind of like the alchemist. She grows all of the plants and the herbs for alchemy, and she likes to keep herself to herself and prefers to live separately from everyone else. So I felt like this cave was a perfect place for her. So you can see a lot of ritualistic objects and stuff here. And again, hugely dense planting. There's lots, and you can see that I put ivy growing across the entrance, and lots of plants. Alchemy tubes, you know, test tubes and everything here that she uses to do her work. And I'm particularly pleased with how this turned out. So again, remember, this was just basically a mud floor and stone walls, and this is what I have changed it into. So there's quite a lot here to look at, okay? So you can see very densely planted. One of my favourite trees there with the green lady. You can see she's got her, actually looks like a person. If I get a little bit closer you can see, and it is animated, so she does move. So that is one of my favourite trees, and there's a furnace that I nestled sort of within the roots of her tree. And some beautiful flowers. I put all sorts of a mixture of flowers in here. As you can see, we've got lighting effect flowers, normal flowers, all densely planted, so she'd be able to do anything that she needed with alchemy using the plants that she grows here. And then up here I've got a lot of enchanted items, like wisps and stuff like that up here that she can use to do more of her alchemy. And I do love the druid furniture that the devs gave us, so I've put some of that here. So simple stone table and bench there, which is really nice. And I do love these reach lanterns. I mean, look at the detail on that lantern. You've got the skulls and the branches and everything there. I just think it's a really beautiful design that the devs have come up with. You know, it's really creative. And there's the hag raven, obviously. She always stands like that, you don't worry. She looks more ferocious than she actually is. And then again, another seating area here with the furnace, and then there's her bed there, which doesn't look very comfy, but she assures me that it meets her needs, okay? So that is the enchanted cave, okay? And again, I'm really pleased with how this turned out. It took me a long time to plant this out and decide what I wanted to do with it. Because again, I wanted to use that space up there and there was no way to get to it, so I figured putting this stairway up to that area made it more accessible. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I really love the way this cave looks. And I don't think I would change anything about it now that I've done it this way. So if we go back out, I did put another bridge here that takes you over to this central section, which I haven't really done very much with other than put this gigantic ass statue in there, which looks pretty cool when you're at the entrance. And again, you get a really good look here at the beautiful waterfalls that I could sit and look at forever because I love them. But that's super impressive. Those ones are super impressive. Oh, I love this house. Okay, so now we're going to run to the other side. And I'm going to show you the far side of the house and what I did with that area. And on our way, we'll just have a quick peek over here. So I put a well over here, and then I planted some grass and things around it to make it look like it was established and it's been here a while. A few more plants and stuff here, and then I made it sort of like, this is my commerce area, so I've got my banker and this carriage. I love this planter. I think it's supposed to be, it's a wedding planter, but I really loved the colours and the planting of it, so I decided to put one here because it needed something in this central area to sort of brighten it up a bit, and I thought this really sort of did the job. My merchant is over here, so you can bank and sell your stuff when you come in, which is quite handy. And then some horses for the stable. And this house does actually come with this little stable. We don't always get a fully made out stable in these houses, but notable homes tend or are more likely to have them, and this particular house comes with this stable. So I put a horse and cart here, and two of my favourite mounts are in here. The Shellback Warhorse is probably one of my favourite horses. Look at the armour detail on that. It's beautiful. It's one of my favourite mounts. And the other one is the white gold Imperial Corsair because it's a sparkly pony. It has a lot of, as you can see, sparkles and stuff coming off it. So I love those, but for two very different reasons. I mean, the armour on that's beautiful. Anyway, let's go back to the other side of the house, and I'll do the last little bit of the tour, which is going to be to this far side. So again, lots and lots of trees and plantings. So I wanted it to sort of guide you in. I like the idea of when you have paths like this that are not linear, that there's something to look at that guides you sort of all the way through and down the path. So I've used lots of different trees and bushes and stuff to make it sort of a more interesting path to walk. And you get this dock area. So I put my fishing boat there because I have got the fishing achievement. It took me nearly 2 years to get it. So every body of water that I now have a house every body of water that has, every house I have that has a body of water, I put my fishing boat in it. That's what I'm trying to say, because it took me so long to get it. So I made it into a fishing sort of area. So we got a little bit of dock, fishing rods and stuff like that. So it is quite simple. And I put a bonfire and stuff over here with some shipping ropes and stuff like that. So things that you would necessarily see on a dock. I like the bonfire. I thought that looks cool, so I put some stones sort of around it to seat it in underneath this like gazebo. And then you had this kind of area. Now obviously these steps and stuff were not there. This is the conservatory from Eleanor. It was just sort of a dirt embankment up to a very sort of plateau area that wasn't even level, and it was very difficult to think about what to do there. I did think about building a structure on it. I did try building a deck on it, and I wasn't happy with any of the things that I tried. So in the end, I built these steps up to this gazebo, and then I turned it into this sort of, I don't know what to call it really. It is kind of like a conservatory, I guess, but it's just got more plants and stuff growing in it. And again, the warrior statue, I really like that statue. The female warrior. It's one of the oldest ones in the game now, but I do really like it. And it kind of fitted in here because it looks old and sort of like it's been there a long time, so it kind of fits in here. So a little bit of planting, some Eleanor planting and stuff in here, and a little bit of a fountain as well for a little bit of more of detail. But I just thought it made it look a little bit more interesting than what was here originally, and more in keeping with sort of the house really. And again, beautiful look at the waterfall as you stood here. So that's it really, guys. That is Willowpond Haven here in Blackwood. If you ever get the opportunity to get your hands on this house, I highly recommend it. It's probably one of my favourite houses in the game. I just think it looks beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to look at some more housing tours, then please check out some of my other videos, and thank you for watching.